Hey everyone, and welcome back to Somonul Art. In today's tutorial, we're taking on the next piece of our Gundam Whitebase project, the Catapult Launcher housing. Using Substance Painter, I'll show you step by step how to bring this essential component to life with realistic textures and stunning details. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned artist, there's something here for you. Let's dive in and start painting. Here we are in Substance Painter. Oh boy, I can't wait to get started on this project. This is gonna be awesome. Oh boy, look at all these crazy details. I had so much fun modeling this. So what we're going to do first, the usual, we're going to bake our mesh maps and make sure I have that on 4K texture. And we'll just start the outputting process. Let it do its thing for a little bit. All right, it looks like we're done. We can head back into painting mode. A quick look over this model. I do not have any lights, so I don't need to add my emission texture to this. This is going to be a pretty run-of-the-mill project, hopefully. The first thing we're going to do is add our base layer. So I'm going to go here and click a fill layer. Let's see here. Let's give this a mid-tone for just a moment so we can get a good feel for this. I am going to add a little bit of metallicness to it. We're not going to get too crazy though just yet. And we'll take a little bit of the roughness away. We'll definitely be adding more in as we go. Just beautiful. All right. Let's go ahead and add our first preset layer. I always like to start off with this beautiful steel stained metal here. We'll just let that load in for a second. Sometimes it takes a couple. Oh, and already, just look at that. Right out of the get-go. You could call that a done project right there. That is just so beautiful. But we've got some detailing to do on this. We're going to be giving this a bit of a green look. So I'm going to add another fill color right here layer. And now we're going to figure out just what kind of green we're going to be using. That might be it right there. Base color. For now, I'm going to keep this color. So I'm going to duplicate this. Base color 02. And we're going to turn that one off. We're going to lower the opacity on this one just by a bit. I'm actually going to change into base color so I can actually see this a little bit better, what's going on. And we want to add a little bit of metallic, even though I can't tell what's going on right now. Definitely want to add that in. It's going to be too... So I added this second layer. Let's turn that back on. So I can play around with some of these layer mixing modes to see if I can get a really good color. And that actually looks pretty good right there. Let's see how it looks under the lighting. That's not bad. Add a little more kick to it. Just a little more vibrancy. How does this look for a base color? Wow, that is really, it's really nice. Let's go back to our material view. All right, so it looks like we found that nice, beautiful green shade that we're looking for. In the animated series, it's a little bit on the greenish, bluish side, so I think we've achieved that pretty well here. As you can see, this isn't a pure green. The lighting color that we really want to aim for, here's a swatch from it. That's straight up out of the series right here, and that's kind of cool. I think that's a little bit too bright for me, so that's why I decided to darken that just a little bit. We're in the same channel though, so that's good. Just a little bit darker than what you'd be normally seeing. And we're going to need that because we're still going to be stacking on a bunch of other layers. Let's go ahead and close this out. And I'm going to go and add another preset layer. And this time we are going to use Sometimes this preset layer can be a little bit over the edge, so we may have to dial it down some, but I just want to see how this one looks. Takes a little while to calculate too. There we go. Let's turn on our material lighting and see what we've got going on here. So you can see we've got this huge cosmetic denting and bumping and oh boy. So we got to dial this down. This is just wild. Sharpen we don't need, edge, dirt. So it looks like all of our bump values are going to be under this edge damage. If we disable that, we've got this crazy looking thing. And I do like the way that just, actually, you know what? Nah, we'll dial it down because I do want to have a little bit of bump. So we'll go here to this height value, and you could really ramp it up to be something insanely crazy like that. But I just want something that's just going to be a little bit there. It's almost like identical to what we started out with. There, that gives us a better view of what's going on. 1.5, I think that'll do it. So we can close that down now. We'll right-click this layer and add a white mask to it. We're going to right-click it again, and this time we're going to add a generator to it. We're going to click that generator to add that generator, and we're going to look for that metal edge. And just like that. You can tell that added some character to it already. Oh man, I just love this. This is one of my favorite nodes in this program. We're going to dial this down quite a bit though. Don't want it to be too extreme, but we still want it to be good enough to where it looks noticeably cool. And I think that looks really noticeably cool. Oh man, that is awesome. All right, so what's next? We're going to add some of this metal detailing back, but I'm going to do this a different way. I'm actually going to go back in here and add another layer of my steel stained. Well, I probably should have just duplicated it, but we'll just do that. Take a good look here at these grates. We're going to turn these back into a metallic. So I'm going to go to a black mask here. We'll get this back. What I can actually do is drag this and drop it under my nice steel, but I'm going to do that last. I kind of want to be able to tell what's going on here. So we're going to go right over here and click the polygon fill tool. And I'm going to select my object, and then we're just going to click on each one of these. Turn these guys all back into a beautiful metal. And we'll do the same with this. And we'll do the same with this. Taking a look on the back side here, we got some pipes that we need to turn metal. I guess we could probably leave some of those green, but we'll make it look cool. That'll add some contrast. And when you're rendering stuff out and you add all these extra little snippets of contrast, sometimes that can really make your scene pop. I'm going to change those a different color later on. Let's see what we've got going on here. Beautiful, just to be expected. Got some nice grunge going on the top side here. Those pipes are looking pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and drop this below this layer here. So that'll bring out some of that edge fineness that we put in. Now we got some scratches on there. Yeah, that is looking really good. I'm loving that. So let's go ahead and add a layer of dirt. I'm going to create a fill layer here. Where did you go, my friend? Wow. You're way down here. Well, we want this to be at the top of everything. Just like that. We're going to take a look at our properties here. I want this to be very rough. I don't want really any shine to it at all. It's just going to be nice matte. But we're not going to max that out. We're going to give it a nice, beautiful, dull black color. Beautiful. We'll close this little color thing out. Right-click our layer, go to White Mask, Add. And you guessed it, I'm going to add another generator. Oh boy, I'm addicted to these generators. And we're going to add this dirt one right here. And this is really going to start to make that really look used and worn. Look at that. That is awesome. But I also like that soot in those right there, so we're actually going to add that back. Let's dial this down just a bit more. The back side looks beautiful. Alright. Let's go ahead and Control D to duplicate this layer. I'm going to group it to itself, Control G. I'm going to label this dirt small. I'm going to add a black mask to this layer to completely disable it. Make sure I got my brush tool here. We're going to increase the size on it. And the hardness. We're going to lower the opacity down just a little bit on this. And just add a little bit more back to it. And if it looks like it's too over the edge, we can always dial that back. So it is looking like it's a bit on the what in the world side now, but I want that to be, the edges to be really dark. There we go. So you kind of see how we're bringing that to pop out. That looks good. Let's back up a little bit and see what we've got going on here. That's beautiful. So we've got these pipes and stuff back here. What can we do with those? Let's go ahead and change some of these. Well, we're going to add a new fill layer here. We're going to make this an interesting yellow color here. That looks good. We'll go here and add a black mask to that layer. Pipes, conduits. Got a couple that are tucked away in here that I'm going to change. So what are our usual polyfill? Yeah, just something subtle, but enough to kind of make you wonder, wonder what the significance of that might have been. Let's do one more fill layer. No, we're actually going to go to another preset layer. Go to an aluminum one this time. Does that look like it's too over the edge? We're going to make this a subtle 23 and change that to a black mask to completely disable it. Go back to this poly tool here and make sure we are selected on just the mesh fill. And we'll go ahead and breathe some life back into these really dirty pipes here. Maybe even this guy, he got a cleaning. And this middle one here as well. There we go. So you can see it added some randomness to it. So it look really nice. All right, and add that final punch to this. Let's add a few decals to spicing it up. This is always my favorite part. Just drag this guy right here. That's pretty crazy. So we're gonna have to dial that down. Make sure we have our scale node locked. And I go for 0.5 and see. There we go. Doesn't want to be putting up a fight here. Let's add one more. Where is my gibberish? Oh, there it is. Just slap that right in there. And we'll do 0.04 for you. And we'll give this a quick rotation. Make that 90. Actually, that looks like it's going to be 270. Well, I think that looks just beautiful. I think we're going to call it a project. So that wraps it up for a painting tutorial on the Catapult Launcher for our Whitebase. Oh boy, this is looking beautiful, this project. I am so excited. I can't wait to do the next part already. I really hope you found these techniques useful and inspiring. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Somonul Art for more tutorials and other creative projects. Got questions or feedback? Be sure to drop a comment below. Alright my friends, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope to see you in the next one. Stay creative.